All right, everybody, and we are live. So I'm so excited to be here with my friend, my comrade, my sister, Jen The Rainmaker. I can go into all of her bio and all of the things that she does, but when I say this one right here is just magic, she just gets my soul together. And just as we start to speak, you will just hear her just drop these jewels, these gems just come out of her mouth. And what makes Jen so um, amazing is that she is so close to her ancestors and so close to the heavenly realm, but she brings it back down to earth, and it's so practical in the application. And so, if you are on the fence about joining us for the gift, the vision, the power retreat, please be on the fence no more. I want to introduce to some and present to others Jen the Rainmaker. Jen, I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you, Brenda. I'm very excited to be here.
So let's just get right into it. We know that empaths have been waking up on the planet for several years now. And one of the gifts that empaths have are the deep gifts of intuition, precognition, and dreams. And from your lineage, this has been passed down your family line for centuries. What exactly is dream planting, and how can empaths really use those gifts of intuition, precognition, and dreams in their everyday life?
So, first of all, I want to acknowledge the fact that I am here on the occupied territory of the Miwok, and I'm in Northern California. And so I do that as a land acknowledgement to acknowledge the people that were here before, but also the Miwok still exist today. My brother has Miwok blood in him, my niece, my nephew, my other niece. And so um, being here in this land is just such a really beautiful reminder because I'm in an area where it's surrounded by trees and redwoods and deer and hummingbirds and foxes. And I'm like 20 minutes from the ocean, 20 minutes from the redwoods. So, being in this area, I am further reminded of the gifts of my ancestors because it is through dream planting that I have been able to create this reality and this blossoming dream. So, first and foremost, my ancestors are Chichimeca dream warriors. They believe that our dreams create our reality. When the Spaniards invaded, the my ancestors had a prophetic dream of what was going to happen. And so they already knew all of these things. They had seen all of these things, and they knew that the Spaniards would be after what they thought was our most precious asset, which they thought was gold, but it was actually these teachings. It was the Dream Warrior teachings. And so my ancestors had a plan to preserve the teachings, passing them down parent to child, teacher to student. You know, my ancestors pretended to be converted into the Spaniards' religion so that they could continue to pass these things down because they knew that right around 2012, the teachings would be needed once again. And so they risked their lives, and many of them were persecuted when they were found to be teaching these things. And so I was kind of talking with my daughter this morning a little bit about it, and we were just kind of having a conversation naturally. And so my ancestors believed that our dreams create our reality and that we could plant dreams before we go to sleep. So I tell people that on a spiritual level, I help them redream themselves consciously because we believe that when you're in your mother's womb, you're dreaming of who you would become. On a scientific level, I tell people I help them reprogram their subconscious while they're sleeping because our subconscious never sleeps. What we call subconscious in Western society, my ancestors called our nawal. It's the energetic body that never sleeps, but it is the one that is creating us. And it creates our tonal, which is short for tonatua, which means who we are with the sun. So the actual dream planting process, one of the ways we plant dreams is through a process called mexikatzin. It's a 5-step process that we do right before we go to sleep. There's other symbolic ways though that we can plant dreams. So I tell people you can set your intent for what it is that you want to be living while you're sleeping. You should always issue a command to your nawal or your subconscious, if that's what you want to call it, before you go to sleep. And you talked about dreaming and empaths and things like this, and many people are becoming more aware of the power of their dream state and what the dreams are. And people talk about deja vu. I call that dream ja vu, right? Because you've dreamed everything before you live it. At least that is our belief. And so part of this process of dream planting being so connected to the land, oftentimes when I'm working with, or touching plants and different things like that, it is just a reminder to me of the connection that we have with Mother Earth, with our dream world, with this reality that we have all consciously dreamt and created together.
That is so powerful. And when we think about the reality that we live in now, one, I love that you did a land acknowledgement. I'm here in Detroit, so I am on Anishinaabe and Ojibwa territory. That is one of the many tribes that have walked this land that I am on. But I love that you talked about this reality that we've dreamed, and for many, this reality, the 3D reality that we're in, can feel much like a nightmare. So if you can maybe expound upon how powerful it is for individuals and the collective to dream up a new reality, because we know that first in consciousness, it has to happen there before it can materialize in the 3D world. So could you share with us a bit about what's possible when, especially in this retreat space, what happens when a collective of women hold a collective dream?
I think, as I hear that question, it's like anything can happen. Anything is possible. There's so much that we can create. Right now, many of us are sort of at the mercy of our subconscious. Science says that 95 to 97% of everything that we do is based off of our subconscious programming. So if we look at that, that means that only 3 to 5% of everything that we do is conscious during our lives. So most of us will repeat patterns. We will repeat the issues that our ancestors have passed down. We will go off of things that we were told as children. We are living off the programming from the media. And so we are really living in this limited world. But when you begin to understand the power of your conscious and your subconscious mind, and you begin to work with those things, it can really open you up to a completely different reality. So as an example, I'm in an area right now. I recently moved to this area and they're experiencing a drought in this area. Now, there are areas around here that are also experiencing big droughts, specifically in California. A lot of areas are experiencing droughts right now. We believe that our inner waters, there's 4 inner waters. There are the droughts, there's the hails, there is the rain, and then there's the floods. So when there is an imbalance within us, within our inner waters, we are collectively creating a conscious imbalance as well. This is why you hear different things like be the change that you want to see, right? For us, we talk about the collective dreams of people is creating this collective consciousness. So what's happening is even what you see right now that's happening throughout the world, this thing that is, happening, the illness that has spread, I don't name it, but this is because our inner earths are imbalanced. Collectively, our inner earths are imbalanced. So the greatest thing that we can do is begin to heal ourselves, begin to heal the imbalances that we have. So then we can also be a part of the collective healing, the collective rebalancing, balancing out our relationship with Mother Earth. It is said that when we have an imbalance of our inner earths, we can create infections and diseases and money issues for ourselves. And many people are experiencing money issues, financial issues. Sometimes it doesn't even necessarily have to mean you're living sort of check to check or client to client. Sometimes it could be also that you just have a fear in your space around money. Like you could have any amount in the bank, and yet you still have this fear that something is going to happen. You're living in poverty consciousness. So when we come together and we begin to heal ourselves, we are also healing the collective. But there's definitely things that we can be doing, very specific strategies that we can be using to really help heal and balance out all of the things that we are seeing right now and understand drought at a different level, understand illness at a different level, understand financial issues, relationship issues at a different level. So we are not focusing on the symptom of something. We are focusing on the seed. What was the cosmic seed that was planted that has created this issue?
Ooh, ooh. Listen, y'all, she done preached the whole word. Okay. Like this is so important, right? Because especially, when we talk about where we are and where we want to go, we do need to rewire our subconscious, both individual and collective. And it does start with the individual. And I think I was listening to Michael Beckwith talk about um, heaven coming to earth. Is not that it's one particular savior that is coming, but it is a rise up of the collective. It's you, it's me, it's each other, it's each of us really tapping into the divine presence. And it's us tapping into our gifts and creating the shift that we want to see within so that it shifts without. So I am just so excited about the pathway and the journey that you're going to be taking. Um, it feels like it's deeper than a retreat because what you're offering, what all of the our healers and coaches are offering is really within first, and then moving it out. And I just am so excited about what you're going to share with us even more deeply so that, people can walk away with some really tangible strategies on how to use their dreams. And you also said something really important, that this was passed from, parent to child, from teacher to student, that I'm supposing that a lot of this is not even written down anywhere. It's all an oral tradition.
Correct. And that which has been written is not everything is there. Many things had to be left out for different reasons. So you really do not get the full teachings and everything unless you actually are sitting with a wisdom carrier of the tradition. There is no book that exists that has every single thing. It's like pieces. You're just getting pieces of the information.
Yeah, and just even sitting with Jen today, you're only getting pieces. So we're just inviting you to join this community so that we can commune together. And it's deeper than, yes, of course, we want to have thriving, empathic, mission based businesses, but there's a calling that is even deeper than that. We have to heal all of the generational wounds and the patterns that Jen was speaking about so that they're not repeating themselves. We have to break away, divest, decolonize ourselves mentally, spiritually, emotionally, just all of the ways. And so, Jen, I'm so excited and grateful and thankful that you decided to hang out with us here this afternoon to share your wisdom and your insight and your gift. And Jen will be joining us next weekend for the gift, the vision, the power retreat for visionary empaths, for mission based, female identified entrepreneurs. Films, come on. This is your space where you're going to be able to rejuvenate, reflect, assess, and have practical strategies so that we can finish this year strong. But not just from a financial sense. I mean, we definitely want you to be profitable, but we want you to be in good health and to have your spirit fortified. So, Jen, thank you so much. And I also want to shout out the Serenity House of Flint. That is our beneficiary. So they'll be receiving a portion of our proceeds. They're a holistic recovery center based out of Flint, Michigan, where those who are battling with substance abuse can come in and be healed from the inside out. So um, again, when you invest here, you're not just investing in yourself, you're investing in collaborative and cooperative healing. So, Jen, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thank you for having me. Tlaskomati, which means thank you.
Oh, thank you. And I'm just looking at you just look amazing, fabulous as always, but I'm like, just go on ahead. That's all I can say. Girl, just go on ahead. I just love it, love it, love it, love being in your energy. And so if you enjoy this communion of sorts today, please come and sup with us more on next weekend. You'll have 3 days, amazing healers, sound therapy, and healing and meditation on Friday, and then followed by Saturday and Sunday, um, summit coaches that are going to help you fortify your gift and help you fortify your business as well. Jen, thank you again for joining us.
Tlaskomati, humteo. Bye.
Beautiful one. Bye.